Midnight Charlie Man, Patrick here. Okay, very quickly, very importantly, please visit rexy.net with help with your reading and your writing with Ravinia Lane. Please watch my previous video. I think it was the video before last. Help with, do you need help with reading and writing? Please watch that video. Please watch that. And please visit rexy.net. Now, today's date is, it's the 10th, it's the 1st of October 2024. I've been thinking a lot about things. I've been thinking about the homeless situation in Los Angeles. Now, I've been thinking about numerous points, and, okay, factors. So, I've actually picked out, okay, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got 5 properties which I think that would greatly help and benefit many of the people in Skid Row, and it all comes down to this. It all comes down to the amount of bathrooms. So that's what it comes down to, because I've had a rethink about the entire situation, and about personal space. So, for instance, this one here is this one here. That's at 14. That residence is 1420 Davis Drive in Beverly Hills. In fact, actually, it's one of the favourite mansions that I've seen so far. And producer Michael, he did the tour. It's a Russian guy built it. A Russian guy had that, paid for that to be built, and so I'm thinking about this. Now, at first I said get as many of them in there as possible. No one likes sharing a bathroom. No one wants to share a bathroom. No one likes sharing a bathroom. So, for instance, this mansion here, I think it has approximately 23 or 24 bathrooms. So, therefore, you could have approximately, okay, 6 couples in there and 8 other single people. But you'd have couples in there. So about 6 couples and 8 single people. So 24 bathrooms. If it has 24 bathrooms, 24 people. No one wants to share a bathroom. Now, okay. Also, it's 277 St. Pierre Road. That's where that other. Actually, it's a really nice place. It's a really nice place. 277 St. Pierre Road. I think it's 277 St. Pierre Road. I think that my idea would work. I think that my idea would work. 277 St. Pierre Road. 277 St. Pierre Road. Here it is. That's it there. Found it. Got it. It is 277 St. Pierre Road. Okay, so let me get back to my map. Back to this map here. Alright. So say you've got 23 bathrooms. If you've got 23 bathrooms and so that means that 23 people could occupy the place. No one wants to share a bathroom. Nobody likes sharing a bathroom. And these mansions have they've got heaps of space in them. They've got heaps of areas. Some of them have got 4 or 5 levels. And so what I would this just occurred to me today. What I could then do, what they could do in that case, is get portaloos put in the backyard. They say about 20 portaloos in the backyard, which would get emptied and cleaned once a week. And so, just would have the 20 portaloos in the backyard for extra people that might come into the house. And then I'm like, but how would they shower or bath? How would they shower or bath if the other bathrooms have been allocated to the other homeless people? Each one of these mansions has a swimming pool and a sauna and spa. So, if they want to get themselves cleaned up in that manner, to take a spa, to take a sauna or a spa, and they go for a swim in the swimming pool. And quite often with these mansions and these swimming pools, they often have. I don't usually do this after I go for a sauna or a swim, but many people will take a shower after they have a swim, and these mansions would be equipped with a shower after your swim. So these, I've got this figured out. I think it's a really good plan. I think it's a really, really good plan. See here, this is the one. Okay, that's the one on Stradella, Aurora Way. Okay, but this one here, is that there. That's it, that there. It's a neighbour. Okay, it's a neighbour. Also, here. We can zoom in on this map. Okay, alright, that there is Mark Wahlberg's previous residence. There's about 21 bathrooms in it. This here is mostly, okay, that there it has about 23 bathrooms or 24 bathrooms in it. And from what I know, it is mostly vacant. It's mostly vacant, and okay. So, where is it? I'm going to find it again. Where is it? Oh no, the page is refreshing itself. Oh, and the manor as well. Yes, the manor, yes. Okay, not that one. What I'm getting at is this. Where is it? This one here. This one here, which is just there on the map. You've got the one, and you've got this one here. It's on 10697 Summer Way. This place has about 5 different bars in it. Now, I was thinking to myself, if you got a busload of homeless people and you took them up to this mansion, I was thinking what the conditions would be, what the guidelines, the rules of the house would be, and I was thinking, so would you say to them, that's it, no more drugs, no more meth, no more heroin, but you can drink, and but you I was thinking, so when they get there, I was thinking, so would it be no more drugs? Would it be no more meth? Would it be no more heroin? And that would mean that all of them would have to go cold turkey. And I think that cold turkey isn't a issue that you would want them to face straight up. It's very, very difficult. and especially for people who are on drugs. Now, especially for people who are on drugs, and so I was thinking they get to take it all with them. They get there, they choose a room, and they continue to do their meth, they continue to do their heroin and their crack. However, there's going to be okay, so I just watched this podcast today, and I watched this podcast today. It's a very, very good podcast, really good podcast. One of the best that I've seen. And my parade got rained on a little. My parade got rained on a little, mainly because this guy, Matt Later, he goes to Skid Row every day, almost every day. He goes to Skid Row, he talks to people, they know him down there, they know him very well, and he was discussing many, many things. He was discussing all of it, and they were discussing certain solutions and certain things. They deep dived into everything that I was thinking about last night, everything. Because what I was thinking was, I was initially thinking one of the options could be that when you put them in, because these mansions, if you've got 22 bathrooms, it's practically a hotel, and these mansions are sitting there doing not a great deal. I would imagine that in one of these mansions you might have about 3 people occupying it, and that they're actually very ideal for the homeless people. And one of the options was that when they go there, no more drugs. Like, that's one of the rules of going. I don't like the word rules. That's one of the things about going there is no more drugs. And I thought about that, and I thought, no. I thought, actually, they can go there and still do their drugs. The thing is, though, that the atmosphere will be very different. The atmosphere, because there'll be doctors there, nurses there, a dentist, good food, lots of hydration. It will be, if they've just, and it's also a psychological factor because they've spent X amount of time in Skid Row or on Hollywood Boulevard or on Sunset Boulevard, X amount of time they are very used to the condition of a tent, very used to that. And then suddenly being in this different atmosphere is a contrasting change. It's a very contrasting change. And just like yesterday, I thought of blood transfusions. Many of these people would need blood transfusions, and I was thinking, so after they've been there for about 2 weeks, I would give them all blood transfusions, one by one, blood transfusion. I think blood transfusions and a dentist. So they go there, and I mean, this would be a great one. The Manor, Aaron Spellings. Aaron Spellings, The Manor on Mapleton Drive. That's a really good one. So that's the one next to it, Mark Wahlberg's, and then which is 71 Beverly Park Drive. The one next to it, which is 73 Beverly Park Drive, 277 St. Pierre Road. I really like St. Pierre Road. I actually walked past there in July. I walked past 277 in July, and it was I actually walked past it on 2 occasions. It was a different world, elegant, another dimension, a bit lonely. From the outside, 277 St. Pierre Road from the outside is very unassuming. It's very unassuming. It's quite deceptive because from the outside, it's just most of it's concealed. It's very cleverly done. Most of it's concealed, and everything that Mark later, everything this guy, everything that this guy said. Okay, everything that guy said today in the podcast, I was listening very carefully. Everything he said, it did make sense. It made a lot of sense, and it partly rained on my parade. Partly did. However, I do think I've got a very, very good idea here. These mega mansions, these big mega mansions, can be considered a hotel haven for the homeless. I mean, they're sitting there, not really doing much, and look, with everything that Mark said, yes, it made sense. It did make a lot of sense. But I still think it's a great idea. I think it's a very good idea, and you know, I'm sure that these I'm sure that these owners would have no problem with a bunch of homeless people from Hollywood Boulevard and Sunset Boulevard and Skid Row taking shelter and haven in their mega mansion. They'd have all healthy facilities available to them, and I think even once all the bedrooms are taken up, there's still 1420 Davis Drive has a lot of. There's at least 3 levels to it, and it has there's a lot of rooms, there's a lot of areas, and there's room for more. So I think that's when I'd put in all the portaloos. I'd add about 20 portaloos, which would get cleaned once a week, maybe even 30 portaloos outside. They'd get cleaned. They would get maintained once a week. I'd have high quality ones put in, and for sort of bath or shower, they would. I mean, you've even got for extra baths and showers. You've got a hose outside, or you've got the pool, or you've got the spa. And I think the bar would be very important. The bar would be very important because with these addicts, I think that look, let them go wild, let them be free, and they let them hit the bar, because going cold turkey, difficult to do, and possibly difficult to maintain for some of for those guys, for those people. However, I think in that atmosphere where there's many things available to them for a recovery, so booze would benefit them. I think booze would benefit them. Cutting them off completely from their source would not be a good idea. It wouldn't be a good idea. And that's not the first important thing. The first main important things are hot bath, hot shower, dentist, blood transfusions, eating, and hydration. Yes. And so as far as the ones are huge. It's huge. That's a huge property. And then there's another mansion only a kilometre away from it. So and then you got Mark Wahlberg's old place, and a place across the road from that, and you got 277 St. Pierre Road, which would be I think 277 St. Pierre Road would be ideal for about 20 people from Skid Row. Go down to Skid Row with a bus, get 20 people, take them back to 277 St. Pierre Road, and let them live a bit. And they get all the medical attention. And same with the Aaron Spelling Mansion, this one. very good idea, very, very good idea, and in the last video that I made, I didn't mention the blood transfusions because I hadn't thought about that yet, and Mark later actually indirectly suggested that, you know, giving the homeless people a lot of money and changing their circumstance, like changing their housing circumstance, isn't necessarily going to help them. He's had many years' experience in talking to the people of Skid Row, and kind of rained on my parade a bit in that way. I think that if you put 20 people from Skid Row into each of these mansions, and the homeless people from Hollywood Boulevard and Sunset Boulevard, I think it would help them. I think it would help them greatly. And give them $1,000 a week survival money, so $1,000 a week to survive. They don't pay any bills, no bills to be paid, because paying bills gets messy, and people get into fights over that, because a bill comes in, and if a bill comes into a household, somebody says, so I've split the bill up, and you owe $68.27, and they say, well, I didn't use that much electricity. Why am I being charged that much? I only used this and that. So all their bills are paid. They don't have to worry about that, but they do have to upkeep the place, and they do have to buy all their groceries. They're responsible for buying groceries and responsible for the upkeep of the place, for the upkeep of the mansion, for keeping it clean. No cleaners will be in there, only medical people. And also you can probably get some therapists and some counsellors in there too. Get some therapists going in there, get some counsellors in there, and these mansions are occupied, like, there's probably, I think there's, in the one, this designer guy bought it. Who bought the one? We'll find out who bought the one. Who bought the one? Who bought the one? Okay. Okay, so Richard Saghain, this guy. He bought it. Now, is he there with his wife, his partner? How many people are living at the one? I think it would be excellent for, you could have more than 20 homeless people in there. But the thing that I was considering with all this, that I would reconsider, was that people like their personal space. And I think if you got 20 homeless people in there, maybe 30 of them, okay, they can spread themselves around a bit, and it would be like a big hotel. And the thing is, it has a pool which surrounds the property. It goes all the way around the property, this pool, like an infinity pool. And I think they could have so much fun there, getting their health back together, so much fun. And also I did consider the distance, because you don't want it to be too far away. You do want it to be in this where civilization. Some of these mansions, like the Mark Wahlberg mansions, in a gated community, and it's pretty far away. I mean, the distances can be pretty far in Los Angeles. There's also another mansion on Sunset Boulevard, which with producer Michael yesterday. I was watching it, started to watch a video, but I didn't finish watching the video, but I started watching the video, and it was this mansion sitting on Sunset Boulevard wasn't doing anything. No one was occupying it. I immediately think you could probably get 20 homeless people in there. When I say when I say 20 and not 100, because 100 people in a mansion could become a bit cramped. People like their personal space. I love my personal space. I love my personal space. I like my personal space. People like their personal space. So if you have 20 people in there, depending on how many bathrooms there are, this says 24 bathrooms, 24 people. Or 10 couples and 14 single people. Okay? You could have that. Plus, get 20 portaloos and put them in the backyard. because there's a lot of areas in the house, in the mansion, and a lot of areas in there, and people can just take up camp in different areas. I don't think I would have it that, coming into the house you can't do your drugs anymore. I don't think I would do that. I think I would let them keep going with that, and just that somehow that they would, and I would give them an incentive. Say, at the end of if you get through 3 months and you haven't done any drugs, you get $40,000. But you get $40,000. I was going to say bonus. You get $40,000 on top of the $1,000 a week to survive on. At the end of 3 months, if you haven't done any drugs, you get $40,000. And I was going to say at the end of a year, but you don't want to make it difficult for these guys, for these people. So I would make it that if you can get through 3 months without doing any drugs, you get $40,000. So this is the next day. This is the 2nd of the 10th, 2024, and there's one particular part that I had been focused on and thinking about overnight. And so this is an insert, because I said about after three months, if they haven't had any drugs, they get $40,000. I've been thinking a lot upon this, and I changed the amount, and I was just thinking about it, and I was like, okay, just say one of them hadn't done any drugs and taken any meth or heroin for 3 months, and they get $40,000. That can cause infighting, because someone else can say, oh, well, I've for instance, spent 3 months and I've done it once. Why don't I get $40,000? Or they could say, no, I saw you do some last week. I saw you did a little bit last week. And like, man, no, I need the 40,000. See, that can cause a lot of infighting. It can cause arguments. And I'm thinking, geez, so after a lot of thinking and different amounts, it's like, if they've been there for 6 months, they get $50,000. Just say they get, they've been there for 6 months, they get $40,000, 40,000, maybe even 50,000. Just to help them with their lives, help them get on with their lives, they get that amount. And as I said, when they get there, taking meth and heroin and crack would still be, it would be discouraged. It would be, the preferred idea is for them to wean themselves off from it. The health professionals in there to help them wean themselves off it. And I didn't mention that yesterday. So, yeah, preferably not to be taken. Obviously, preferred to be not to be taken. And, just the general idea of them, just going cold turkey overnight would be a very difficult thing, I would think. And I think the main thing to do is just all the other aspects. And then, after 6 months of being there, they get $40,000. And because I think it'd just cause problems if you've been straight. If you've been without drugs for 3 months, you get $40,000. That can actually cause problems, I think. Because as I said, someone else can say, no, I saw you do something last week. No, you did something last week. And someone said, oh, I just took it just once. And then after 6 months, they get that amount of money. And and either the US government can go halves with them, and the multi-millionaires or the billionaires who own this house could give them the other half. So the government and the US government and these homeowners the mansion owners could go halves. I do think it's a good solution. I do think it could even be $50,000 after 6 months of being there. You get $50,000, and it's obviously the drugs are, it's discouraged. But it is a very difficult thing, and I don't think it'd be too much pressure to say that if you anyway. I had been thinking about this overnight. Had been thinking about it. I think you get 20 mansions, which could be hotels for the homeless. Okay, all right. Back to what I was saying. I think it could be a solution to the problem. And I pretty much know for a fact that these mega mansions, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 that I've spoken of, have an occupancy of about 3 people each, 2 or 3 people each. I mean, there is a nightclub inside the one. They can have a blast in there, and also most of these mansions, each of these mansions have a library. They have a library, they have a movie theatre. I mean, you get the people from, you get the people from Skid Row, and you put them in these mansions and help them. They can be helped. And I mean, these mansions, I mean, it's an exclusive area. Yes, it's like an exclusive with a bit of magic to it. It also has a bit of a lonely feel to it. But they're unoccupied. These are unoccupied. And are these people from Skid Row going to run wild and damage and smash the place up? I don't think they would. I don't think they would. I think they'd be cool. They might feel slightly out of place because one thing that this Mark guy said, he said that because he visits Skid Row, the impression I got was every day he talks to people, he said they're very used to it, they're very used to their surroundings, they're used to their conditions, but however, they could get used to a mansion as well. They could, I just think these big properties could help these people. Blood, they all need a blood transfusion, that's what they need, a blood transfusion. And a hot bath every day, a hot shower every day, a spa every day, and the bar, open bar every day. No, they're not all going to become alcoholics. This is part of the process of recovery. Sending them there and saying you can't do drugs anymore is not a good idea. It's not a good idea. I said to myself, this video is going to go for 5 minutes all up. Been speaking for quite a while now. The one on 1420 Davis Drive in Beverly Hills is one of my favourites. It is beautiful in there. It's incredible in there. And I'm just thinking that it's you've got Mark was saying about peeling back the layers with these people in Skid Row, peeling back the layers. Yeah, true, right, yes. If we got all, if you took, I've picked 6, how many mansions have I picked so far? 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if you've got 20 mansions, if you took 20 mansions, you could help, what is it, 200 homeless people? Maths is a bit bad. 400 homeless people. 400 of them. Help them. And you can have people, they stay a while. Some will be semi-permanent, some of them will stay a while, and then potentially, some of them will potentially move on, but I do envision that this is becoming a permanent hotel for them, a semi-permanent hotel for them, because they'd be there a while, get themselves better, and they'd start realising and achieving goals for themselves. Start realising and achieving goals. And you go, geez, I mean, you've got a library in each of these mansions, a library. So they can start to read. You get health professionals in there to help them with their reading and their writing. Rabinia Lane could help them with their reading and their writing. And then Skid Row would, I think that's a solution. It's a solution. Yeah. So, from my previous video, my thoughts extended on from my thoughts extended on. They all need a blood transfusion. I know what Skid Row smells like. It smells like one step away from death. It was, yeah. Thank you for watching. Midnight Charlie Man, Patrick, thank you for watching. And that is, yes. Thank you.